Madam President, the UN Founding Charter is outdated when it comes to representation in this August Assembly. The most powerful post-World War II nations are still being rewarded with an almost totalitarian guardianship over the rest of the world. And yet, the first sentence in Chapter 2, Article 1 of the UN Charter declares that the organization is based on the principle of sovereign equality of all its members. If this were true, and was the case, a continent as large as Africa, with its numerous UN member states, would have at least one permanent seat on the Security Council. Furthermore, we believe that veto power should not be restricted to only 5 nations, nor should it be absolute. There must be a mechanism in this House for the General Assembly to challenge a veto. No single nation should be able to exercise an absolute veto to serve its own interests in a dispute.
The United Nations is useless. They put this band together to make sure that we keep powers in check. But looking at recent history, the United Nations has failed to do that. Or rather, they have limitations. They are only able to check countries that have smaller GDPs and smaller militaries. But those that have bigger GDPs and bigger militaries, the United Nations stay out of their affairs. So who are they actually serving? Why do they exist if some countries are more powerful than them? At this point, I think the best thing for all African nations to do is exit the United Nations peacefully. Exit the United Nations and see how we can fix the African Union and make it more, how can I put it, more involved, more practical. The United Nations is that entire, it's useless. They have done nothing for anybody. They have done nothing for anyone since post-World War II. So why are we still there? Why do anyone bother to go to the United Nations? Just dissolve it. Dissolve it. The UN cannot stop the United States whenever they want to do something. They cannot interfere with China. Nor can they tell Russia to sit down. They are only able to tell African nations to stand down. That is not a place for any African nation.